So check it out. Thought I'd share some tips with you today on how to make your own molded parts. People have asked me how I'm doing it, so I decided to repair these two MPC era tenders that were missing steps. That's probably why I bought them. They're a lot cheaper when they've got broken parts on them. And the boards I can usually get to work. So this one has the sound of steam. That's one I wanted for my 8904. This is the one I put the Silver Star mechanism and also the smoke unit. And then also I have the my 8206. And this is sound of steam and whistle. Probably came out of an Allegheny set. But anyway, they both had broken steps. And so I took a good tender and I started with some mold putty from Hobby Lobby. Comes in a box like this. And it's a 2-part mix. And it comes in tubes like that. You just have to take a little handful, just enough to wrap around the tender step. And you mix them up in 2 parts equally. Make sure you mix them really good. Then you just wrap them around the step like that. You can see I did the front and the rear. And let it sit for about 18 to 20 minutes. And it'll set up. And then you just gently pull it off the step like that. And off the step here. And then what I do is I like to use one of these meat trays because it keeps it from the resin from spilling out. And you can just set it in there. Sometimes I use a little bit of this blue Fun Tack just to prop it up. And then also from Hobby Lobby I buy this casting resin. If I can show the whole box here, there we go. And again, that's a 2-part mix, and you mix the parts equally. See if I can, there's a casting resin. There comes side A and it says side B, and I usually label the tops A and B. And it comes also with the measuring cups. You don't have to mix a lot for a little part like those. I mix it about up to the 5 level, but make sure that you measure it carefully. And I'll pour it in a little plastic cup. And they come with a little popsicle stick that you can just stir the mix up with. And pour it in your little molds and let that sit for about an hour. And just carefully pull it out of the mold. And then you might have to do a little trimming on it. And I just use some milliput putty also to fill in any gaps around it. And then I just painted them and made my own decals. And now I've got a really nice nickel plate road and a nice Erie tender. Of course, Erie being my favorite. My granddad worked for them. And you get so much of the mold mix, you can do all kinds of things with it. Here's a mold that I made for E7 to replace the steps. All I did was take some of the replacements from Grossman and push them down in there, a little gob of the putty there, and let that set up. And then so I can make them 4 at a time. And so if you have more mix than you really need, you can always have another mold like this sitting around and just pour them too. Because I use, for my custom paints, these work great because I'm going to paint them anyway. If I have a decent locomotive, then I'll buy them from Grossman and replace them with those. So that's how I've been doing it. And so I've also made the, here's a mold for the truck covers for Marks. And it's a 2-part mold. Just put the resin down in there and you just make the top part. And to make a 2-part mold though, you have the piece in here, you make the bottom part first, press the piece in, let it sit up, and then you have to put some Vaseline around it so that because this stuff will stick to itself. And then you just push the top part down, and there you have a 2-part mold. That'll work really good. So that's what I wanted to show you. So anyway, thanks again for watching. I hope these tips help. Don't be afraid. You might have to do a little experimenting, but you'd be amazed at what you can make. So God bless. Never forget, Jesus is Lord.